I have like 2 minutes before I gotta go to school, but I have my YZ125 linkage right here. Today I'm actually gonna be bringing it to my auto shop class. That way we can get these bearings pulled, and we can also clean these up and get them sandblasted, because we gotta powder coat these, and we obviously need to sandblast them first. I don't have a sandblaster, so we're gonna bring it to the auto shop class, because it's Friday, and we could do whatever we want in that class. So we got the bushings out of the linkage, and that literally took so long because it was so seized in there, but now we could just take the bearings out of the linkage. I just use sockets at home, but the shop here actually has the right tools for the job. So let's actually just press this thing out. So at this point, I washed the linkage in the parts washer, and we also removed the bearings. It definitely took a minute, but we got them out. Now we could just go ahead and sandblast it with the snap-on sandblast cabinet. Boom! The linkage is now sandblasted and it's ready to be powder coated. That literally took the whole hour and a half of shop time. Whatever, we got them cleaned up and they're looking mint. We got our parts sandblasted, let's get on the bus. Now we gotta ride this bus for a whole half an hour till we get home. So we finally made it back home, and I used up my whole hour of shop class taking out these bushings and bearings. The bushings were seized, so those were kind of hard to get out as well. But we do got everything sandblasted and everything's cleaned up. So we're going to get these powder coated black right now. And we do actually have these two other pieces for our swing arm that we sandblasted in the past. Those are also getting powder coated black. So we're going to get them done today while we do the linkage. Well, I don't have the right size plugs for these, so it looks like we're going to have to get creative. Let's prep these for powder coat. I got this link of the linkage hung up. Let's actually start powder coating it. If you can see there, I found a socket that fits perfectly. That way powder coat doesn't get where our bearing needs to go. And there we go, we got our powder sprayed on. Now we can just remove the sockets and try to get it transferred to this rack right here. I don't have a big enough oven to hang, so I'm not going to get a perfect part, and we are going to have a mark or two where our rack was, but that's completely fine. It's my bike and it's my part. I got the piece transferred over to the rack, and look how nice this thing looks. I cleaned up the powder that was in these two holes, and I cleaned up any extra powder that was where our bearing goes. Now we could just cure the powder, and I'll get back to you guys when that's done. Here's a half point check. This thing is looking really clean. We got about 10 minutes left, and then we got to let it cool. I'll get back to you guys when it's done cooling. And here we go, our linkage is now cooled. I actually did coat the second part off camera and it's looking pretty nice. And now our YZ125 linkage is powder coated and it's looking really nice. I actually impressed myself on this job. It's looking really good. Now we could just go ahead and install the All Balls Racing bearings into the new linkage, and then we can install it on the bike. I'm going to do that in a separate video though, not because I'm milking it, but because All Balls Racing actually sent us the linkage bearing kit. So they got me right. Obviously I'm going to get them right by making them a dedicated video for the product. I'll see you guys in that video. This linkage looks so freaking good. I'll see you guys in the next video where we install those bearings though.